Hey, welcome to the channel. It's all about blues harmonica. So if you haven't already, thumbs up and subscribe. Today, just a quick video. Just played over a track there where I played acoustically. That kind of track I would normally be mic'd up through a sort of a microphone kind of made for harmonica one that's closed off like that. But they call it acoustic playing if you play your harmonica onto just a normal microphone. They still call that acoustic playing. And if you notice there, I'm playing acoustically, but I'm using a wah technique that in my style, I wouldn't normally use. Okay, you'll hear me do it a couple of times when I'm doing acoustic things, but it's not part of my style. This kind of thing, that kind of thing. Okay, so I use other techniques to replace that, but as you can see, and you'll probably notice from the little demo I've done there, is you'll see me switch, and that if I ever employ it and I'm playing on a microphone where I'm using it for vocalizing as well, say example, in past years, then what I would have done was just come off it, and then I'd change my position, because each harmonica player plays, there's no really set rule of whether you want to play like this, hold it like this, or hold it like this. I tend to hold it this way, so I can cup off on a microphone. And so although you can sort of get you can sort of wire underneath it, you don't get the same sort of effect of the way that the old guys did, like Big Walter Horton or Sonny Boy Williamson, for example, getting that sort of sound. So, because traditionally you play it this way. So you'll see me actually move. You'll see some of my other videos if I'm doing an acoustic thing where I do that. And you'll see me, I'm going from kind of that, and then I'll go to that, and then I'll go to the way that I hold it to cup it off. And one of the reasons why I went that way was just because the way that I was tongue blocking, the way that I was lip pursing, it just facilitated a better quality sound by holding it off that way. I've coached tons and tons of people. It doesn't really make any difference. People that hold it traditionally can get the same way. People who play out and out tongue blocking way without playing the lip pursing way, there is an argument they get a slightly fatter chamber on the sound. But you see, that's kind of a myth, really. It's not a myth, it is correct. But of course, you don't always want that. You know, you get the out and out tongue blocker who gets his chambered sound. But of course, there's a whole range of sounds, light, medium, dark sounds that you're looking for all the time. And you might really not want that, you see. people think that that's the way that the ultimate sound should be. No, it isn't. It's entirely up to how you want to play it. Certainly when I was a saxophonist, if I'm playing like Wilhelm Felder, and then I'm going to be using a, you know, sort of a Larsen 120, 130, I'm going to open it up. If I'm doing the Wilhelm Felder impression, you know, but normally I'd have been playing on what they call an 8-star link, or 9-star. I actually had a 10, would you believe, back in the day, to play in the way, the style that I wanted to play. So the sound is a whole aspect of things. Yeah, so with the track there, you might want to start with sort of just doubling it with the band if you're not going to play a counterpoint, the little thing that works alongside it. If you're not going to put a voice on it, like etc. Yeah, or you might want to put a little counterpoint to it. I came straight in with that, and sometimes it sounds better anyway, particularly if they're really putting. It can sound impressive if everybody's doing the same accenting and putting everything out at the same time. Give you a little tip with the blues band. If you're starting out with the blues band, always do your first number of the evening as a instrumental, and bring your voice in on the second one. And in my day, we'd never take an out-and-out vocalist anyway. We'd always be able to cover it ourselves. We'd have one of the guys that was better on voice and probably do most of it, but we'd all cover it, so that we're not relied upon in any shape or form. And if the guy's voice goes down, he's got a problem that night, the rest of us can cover it on the gig. Okay, very important that. So, but it's very important. Usually you can use it as a marker as well on instrumentation. Just gets everybody settled down. So what I'm doing, so as I've mentioned earlier, I was switching between doing the into moving into other sort of techniques. So that would be something that you should look at and decide early on whether you're going to be playing predominantly one way or another. In Sonny Boy Williamson and these guys, Big Walter, some of these guys, an integral part of their style was the wah. Okay, real huge part of their style. And you go back and listen to the old Sonny Terry's doing his thing. Okay, and so the more blues that you can listen to, the more music that you can listen to, the better. And the last little tip I can give you for today is when you approach something to improvise. I've just done something very, very simple here. Okay, and I'm keeping it simple. But what you need to do is, the object is, it's like the Lester Young thing in jazz. It's not the amount of notes that you play, it's the fact that you're approaching it differently every time. You're not, and if you're working out of books and things like that, and people are giving you licks, that's not really a good way to do it if you're wanting to be truthful. Okay, that's not really, it might seem like it's the best way to go about it, but it isn't. And you will always be struggling to find new ground all your life, and you'll never quite turn the corner if you approach it that way. Okay, so that's just a tip. You've got to be able to get a sound and then work from a rhythmic structure. Okay, it's kind of things that I coach on. All right, but bear that in mind when you're playing a little phrase and when you're moving out for it. Okay, and for now, if you're just starting out, get yourself one little blues scale off, and then just play around with that scale to start with, and that will be a really good idea for you to start with until you get some idea of what's going on. And that is by listening to as much of this music as you can. All right, I hope that helps some people. Thumbs up and subscribe. You get me for lessons on Harpo the Healer Wicks, and as always, I catch you on the rebound.